Hey. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic, magnificent, wonderful. I can go on and on and on, but I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave it right there and stay on there. Stay right there on there. All right. So, I just had my, had some, not breakfast. I had breakfast, a little bit of lunch, washing clothes, blah, blah, blah. Oh, let me get some better lighting. Which I don't care about the lighting. I know I keep seeing messages about how to improve lighting. Who cares? Shit, who really cares? Damn, I want you to see me as I am naturally, when you see me wake up in the morning in bed, that's how I want you to see me. So you know what the hell you get yourself. So you know what the hell you get yourself into. Woo! All right, anyway. So I remember when I was on the road back in the day in another city and doing an investigation. And this woman called in and said that she was, what did she say? She said something about the fact that, her vehicle was extensively damaged. And she had no idea how it happened. Because according to her, she's been home all day, in bed sleeping, and, minding her own business, and then she gets up and realizes her car has been extensively damaged. And she has no idea how it happened. And she was trying to say maybe somebody stole it, crashed it, and brought it back. Wow. I said, oh, really? And so, I started talking to her. And it's so important when you are doing some type of investigation. You need to really pay attention to everything a person is doing, what they're saying, what you hear, feel, and see, and sense about this person when they're talking to you. So I told you, I pay attention to everything, but the eyes usually tell me things. A person's eyes tell me things right away, but I don't rely on it though. That's the point. My eyes can tell right away when something is contradicting. Okay, something's contradicting here about her account of what happened. And so I said to her, "What?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "So you didn't hear your car being crashed into?" I went through everything logical that anybody would ask. Who, what, when, why? Who, what, when, where, why? Blah, 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 blah. Those type of steps that people are trained to ask. And I said, well, so, and then she pointed to a tree nearby, and the tree did have some damage, as if somebody did crashed into the tree, or sideswiped the tree. And I said, you didn't hear none of this stuff? I said, well, why would someone steal your vehicle and then bring it back? And she couldn't answer that. Okay. But to make a long story short, she eventually, after a couple of days of saying all that bullshit to me, maybe a day, she finally called back and told the truth. And the truth was that she was driving the car. She was going out to meet her secret lover. And as she was coming back home, she lost control of the vehicle and blah, 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 and slammed it into somewhere. And she brought the vehicle back. So in essence, she was lying. She was fucking lying. Good Lord. So that's my point. You can't just rely on one of your senses of how to discern when people are telling you the truth or not. Okay, so eavesdropping on conversations, that's the worst of it. That is the worst of it. If you can't see and be in that person's presence to know what their expressions are, that person could be saying any goddamn thing while you monitoring and listening to their conversations. Okay, I like to be up here singing and dancing and saying words that may sound like I'm doing something or I'm not doing something, which is irrelevant. I'm in my fucking house. I can say and do whatever I want. And even if I'm in a public establishment and I'm talking to somebody, you eavesdropping and being fucking nosy of the conversation, I could say whatever the hell I want there as well. You know. So in my opinion, and I don't care how it sounds. I don't care. Like I said, the problem is not the police officers at all. And that's going to take a while, if ever, for anybody to realize that. And nepotism, that's the problem. You know, the good old boys hiring the good old boys and girls, you know, to keep this shit going. All right, this so-called investigative units or whatever who does these informants and undercover and all that shit needs to be abolished, because you don't know what the hell you're doing. In my opinion, that's my opinion and that's my theory. So don't get fucking pissed off at me because of my opinions, and then try to fuck with me and get mad because, you know, I point that shit out and be trying to target me, and you know who you are. All right, so yeah, that shit needs to be revamped, remastered, or gotten rid of. Okay, because you're like Keystone cops running around trying to catch people. You're ignorant about. Well, let me just take that back. It's an ignorant form of attempting to get the truth. You're not ignorant, and I'm not going to say that. That's an apology, because, you know, no human being is necessarily ignorant, coming from my opinion. Just unknowing, okay? Just unknowing, and definitely don't understand cultures. That's for sure. I know. I have a vivid imagination. And I used to love it when we were growing up, because we used to be able to play out in our backyards, all fenced in, and playing any kind of game we wanted. Whether we were pretending we had weapons in our hands, you know, pretending we're fight. You know, it was just it's a good place for kids and adults to have an imagination and feel like a kid and not worry about people watching you from the skies, in the woods. You know, or on conversations on phones. And then you bring in some ignorant, you know, well, not ignorant, see, let me stop that. But whatever. You bring in a human being that's unknowing. And, you know, you say, look, you're going to be an informant here, and you're going to help us, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Whoa. You know, for that informant. That informant can care less about police officers or law enforcement in general. I said this, you know, I don't know when it's going to get through, you know. They can care less about you guys. They know they're gonna get paid, and most people just don't ever pick it. It's always about greed. Anyway, the whole gamut of the whole situation is about greed, and you'd be surprised who's benefiting off of all of this. You'll be surprised. This so-called whatever it is. I don't know what the fuck it is that they do. I can care less. Okay, I'm a lay person now. And I never was interested in any of that shit, because I knew it was foolish. It looked foolish when I see some of these. I can tell right away who's undercover or not. I can. And I can care less. I don't have a goddamn thing to hide. Or anybody else. Usually they target the wrong people. That's the point. Just to get to somebody else. They always target the wrong people. Because I can even remember that. I can even remember someone saying that, yeah, let's go after their, their significant others, or let's go after, their family, and then hopes that they will, that's like terrorism. That's terrorism. And that's done to American citizens all throughout this damn country. Targeting them and targeting their family members, just to get to somebody for some weed. And you'd be surprised who benefits on weed now. You will be surprised. Okay, like, remember Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan? Okay. All right. So, that's a good plot, isn't it? God damn. See how that stuff just come out? When you're allowed to be in your own home and in your own yard, and you can imagine and create, and you hope and you think you're in the privacy of your home, but your privacy is always invaded by these idiots, also known as human beings, who are supposed to be so intellectual. And I told you what intellectuals mean. Not a goddamn thing. Because of your intellectuals and how much you train and hide in woods, and to me, you're abusing canines, those dogs. You're abusing those dogs. And so there's a lot of people get upset when I say that. Why? Because those dogs are trained to go after only certain type of people. Okay, and so, wow, that's a good Law and Order episode right there. I would do a Law and Order episode on that. I would, but hey. Anyway, let me get back to my lunch, and we'll go outside, hopefully, and enjoy the moment out there without, being all concerned about shit falling out of the sky. You know what I mean? Anyway, or see a balloon. Okay. Whew. And people put up balloons too for birthdays and parties like that. Was that an issue? Oh, okay. I didn't know. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish up here. Do what I gotta do. Put out my theories and opinions, which don't mean a goddamn thing, among the billions of other people putting out conspiracy theories and opinions, which don't mean a goddamn thing. And it's kind of fun too. I'm you know what? I am really enjoying putting out conspiracy theories. I see why the other people do it now. Goddamn, it's so much fun. You can be delusional and just regurgitate shit. My goodness, that's fun. So I might keep doing this for a while. I don't know. We'll decide. Ooh, Will. Who the fuck is Will? I don't know. I am crazy, right?